recent massive success of the Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy remaster of the original PS1 Crash Bandicoot games got me thinking the other day. What other PS1 era game series deserve to be brought back so old fans can relive the nostalgia and new fans can try out some old classics for the first time? I'm your host as always, KMac Time, and today I want to look at 5 PS1 games that should get a remastered version on the PS4. First up on the list is Driver 1 and 2. Now these are open world driving games and they were a real advance in the genre at the time. The first game was released in 1999 with the sequel following just 1 year later in 2000, and both games sold incredibly well and had a sizable fan base. Now, yes, games like Grand Theft Auto and Saints Row eventually put this series to shame, but back then these games were top notch and were just as good, if not better, than GTA 1 and 2. The storyline for both games is outstanding and it has that 1970s detective cop vibe feel to it. Absolutely love the storyline about these games. I remember playing them back in the day. The Driver series has unfortunately all but died off in recent years, with 2011's Drivers San Francisco on PS3 and Xbox 360 being the last console game the series has released. And of course, the graphics of the original games have aged horribly and the games look awful by today's standards. But if they were properly redone in HD, these games could come back to life, and I think gamers, both old and new, would enjoy them again. Next up is a series I absolutely loved as a kid and played the hell out of. Tony Hawk games used to be some of the coolest and most fun games to play on any system, and I would always buy the new ones as soon as they were released. But over the years, the game started to go downhill more and more, and now the series is in this weird place. It's sad to see the franchise as epic as Tony Hawk Pro Skater suffer the way it does these days. We all know the latest entry in the series, Tony Hawk 5 on the PS4 and Xbox One, is a historically bad, awful game that is full of bugs and basically just a piece of crap all around. But the first 4 games in the series were on the PS1, and it was absolutely some of the best skateboarding games ever made. So many memorable maps, tricks, challenges, and cool things to do in these games. Not to mention, it always featured the best soundtracks of ever, in my opinion. Love those soundtracks. Anyway, if the Tony Hawk games were to come back and ever regain popularity, this may be the best way to go about it. They could bundle the first 4 games into an Origins collection that featured all the original courses and modern graphics, and I would kill to play Tony Hawk 3 or 4 on my PS4 and feel like I was 12 again and bust all those sweet lines yet again that I can remember doing as a kid. And they might even be able to toss in like Tony Hawk Underground 1 and Underground 2 and Project 8 as like DLC down the road. That would be a great package, and I would love to play it. Another amazing series from the PS1 days that seemingly has been forgotten by everyone is the Siphon Filter games. Now, there were 3 of them on the original PS1, and they are some of the coolest shooters of their day. They are third-person stealth shooters, similar to the Metal Gear type style, but not quite. A little bit different. But anyway, the games follow the Special Agent Gabriel Logan and his team as they take down an international terrorist organization. In the PS1, like I said, it saw 3 Siphon Filter games, and the series was pretty popular. However, after a few more games on the PS2 and a few on the PSP, the series died off. I think a remastered of the series would be amazing, and I would love to play through these storylines again. They're pretty solid storylines, and it'd be great to see redone with modern graphics on the PS4. And they could even throw in some of the PSP and PS2 games. I think there's only like 3 more games total. They could put all 6 on one disc. You could have the entire series from beginning to end, and the Offspring games all on one disc in one place. That would be epic, and it would be a must-buy for me.
Arma.
One of my first gaming memories I can remember is watching my uncles play the original Twisted Metal on the PS1 at my grandma's house when I was probably 4 or 5 years old. And I can just remember being completely memorized by it and wanting to play it so badly, but my mom said I couldn't because I was too young and it was graphic and it was violent and all that BS. However, eventually I did get a copy for Christmas a few years later, and I loved the hell out of that game and that series. It's just such a memorable game for me. Anyway, my favorite one, though, has to be Twisted Metal 3. I mean, that game is one of the best games in the entire PS1 library. Such an amazing storyline and action-packed gameplay. It handled well, it looked decent on the system, it still looks halfway decent considering how old the game is. Anyway, the series obviously was wildly popular, getting a whopping 5 games. You got Twisted Metal 1 through 4, and a lot of people forget about this, but Twisted Metal Small Brawl also came out for the PS1 in 2001. So, there's a lot of games on the system and a lot of popularity there in the series, and a bundle package with a remaster of all of them could be amazing. They could even add in online play and leaderboards and all this cool new stuff they could bring back to these original games. It would be so much fun. I would love to go back and play through the original storylines of 1 through 4, and maybe even Small Brawl wasn't that great of a game, but still pretty cool. It would blow my mind, and I'm sure it would absolutely fly off store shelves if they were to go ahead and do this. And finally, the one you've all been waiting for, of course, the #1 series that everyone wants to see remastered and return is, of course, the original Spyro the Dragon trilogy. These 3 original Spyro games by Insomniac Games are absolute masterpieces. Starting off with the first game in 1998, the Spyro games captured not only my heart, but the hearts of many, many gamers out there, and were some of the best platforming games of that era, and even going into today, they're still amazing games to go back and play. They feature incredibly interesting and deep worlds and lots of cool lore, and with loads of memorable characters and memorable moments, and the platforming is top notch, the collectibles are fun. Everything about this game screams quality, and I love it. This is what a good 3D platforming game with an open world looks like, and they're some of the best games we ever got in that genre, and we don't get that many of them, 3D platformers that is, these days. I mean, we got things like, Banjo-Kazooie, the ukulele version of that, and a couple other ones, but not too many do we see. And it would make perfect sense for Sony to follow up the success of the Crash Bandicoot, N. Sane Trilogy with a Spyro Trilogy remaster. It just makes perfect sense. Not only that, though, there may have been a subtle hint dropped at this that the Spyro Trilogy is coming soon. Now, in the original Crash Bandicoot Warped game on the PS1, if the player entered the code up, up, down, down, left, right, square, then a playable demo for the Spyro the Dragon would be unlocked. You could actually play it from the Crash Warped disc. Now, if you do this in the N. Sane Trilogy, it doesn't unlock anything, really. But what it does do is alter the colors of the menu. It goes from white to orange. And this could be a subtle little hint that Naughty Dog is dropping, that more PS1 classic remasters are coming in the near future, or that this might be a playable demo in the future. Once it's announced, you can put that code in, and maybe then something will happen. We'll have to wait and see on that, but I definitely would love a Spyro remaster. I still have all 3 of those games on the PS1, and I go back and play them every now and then, and I love them. I love the nostalgia. I love everything about those games and those characters. And it's weird because we haven't gotten a Spyro game, I think, since 2008 was the last actual one, like a main entry story. Of course, he's in the Skylanders games, but those really aren't, in my opinion, really Spyro games. He's just a character in them, and whatever. They're fine, whatever, but I want the original Spyro games, and I want them badly. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys would like to see make a comeback on a remastered collection of the PS4, what PS1 games you guys would bring back. Would love to hear your guys' comments on that. But anyway, that's all I have for today, guys. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you guys did, do me a favor and hit that like button down below. It helps me out tremendously. You guys take that 1 second to like and share the video. And if you guys are new around here, feel free to subscribe for more gaming videos in your sub boxes daily. Check out some previous PS1 videos I've done. But until next time, guys, remember that's always KMac time somewhere. Till then, take it easy and peace out. Oh, and one last thing I totally almost forgot to bring up. Today's code word you guys can drop in the comments also to let me know you guys made it all the way to the end of today's video and are in fact some of the coolest subscribers on the entire internet is going to be Metroid. Because I'm super excited for the new Metroid game they announced on Nintendo Switch. So go ahead and drop that in the comments down below. And you guys are some of the coolest people on the internet. But like I said, guys, take it easy.